Keep watching this free presentation till the very end to discover how I started making $3,000 a month online in 29 days from scratch, and how you could do the same. First, don't get distracted. Look, you do not need anything else to make money online right now. This system you got your hands on works. It worked for me, it worked for my mentor, it worked for many partners of mine. And here's the challenge. In this report, I will give you my system that I use to start making $3,000 a month in 29 days from scratch. And I challenge you to do the same. All what you need to do is to build a list. I will be repeating this a lot, and there's a reason for this. Most people do not believe it. If you understand this, I want to congratulate you because you're different. From a selfish point of view, it's only better for you and me that so many people still don't do it. Because of that, there's less competition. You know, not building an email list from day one was by far the biggest mistake I have ever made in my online career. So you absolutely need to build an email list. Now, why is it so important to build the damn email list? Well, here's my story. In the beginning of 2012, I was making about $3,000 per month from search engine optimization, getting free traffic from Google. Here's what I would do. I would go to jvnotifypro.com. I would find out about new products that are going to be released. I would register a domain name with the name of the product. So if the product was Success with Anthony, I would register a Success with AnthonyReview.com domain name. I would upload 10 articles, each from 400 to 1,000 words long, and I would pay about $75 for them. My final review would be like 2,000 words that I would write myself. And I would spend $300 on search engine optimization services to get my website ranked. My expenses would be about $400 per site, including a domain name, hosting, and so on. I would make about $1,000, $2,500 from a successful website. I used to do 2 to 5 of these per month, but some of them, for some reason, did not rank well on Google. Now, did it work? Yes, it did work. Now, was it a lot of work? No, but it was boring as hell to me. It was boring, and I was tired of doing it. Plus, I did not like this because sometimes my site would not rank for some reason. I would create 4 websites and only one of them would make money. I hated that inconsistency. I could never predict my income accurately. However, sometimes I would make 4 websites and all of them would make money. It was confusing to create 4 successful websites and then have 6 failures in a row. It was a good system for me, for a newbie, to make money. It was complicated when it came to ranking your site, but it was a game of numbers. The more sites I created, the more money I made. However, that is not the end of the story. Google then released algorithm updates. We called them Panda and Penguin. Then my income went down from $2,000 to $4,000 per month to $50 per month. What a nice change, huh? But I actually tried building more of these, so I lost money. It did not go down to $50 per month. It went down to minus $1,000 per month because I had to spend money to create these things. So then I switched my model from reviewing one product per website to reviewing many products on one website. I spent another $1,000 building one big authority website. And it did start making $1,000 per month from month 2. And that was nice. That site later got hit also, but then somehow it came back. Now, do I want to build more of those sites? Hell no! At least I do not want to solely rely on them. I do not want it to be my main source of income. Why? Because Google is not predictable. My so-called authority site, which followed all of the rules, got hit 5 times already. Somehow it keeps coming back. I get lucky, but I don't care about that website actually. Why? Because I have my email list making money for me. It is very predictable how much you make from your email list. And if something happens, if something changes in the industry, your income will not go down immediately like it is with Google. You can adjust slowly. You always have time to change. With Google, it's a gamble unless you have been doing it since the internet has been created. You check your stats, you see that you got 1,000 visitors today. The next day you check your stats, you see that you only got 10 visitors. That's Google. But it's not just Google. If you make money from Facebook, one day you log into your account only to realize it's deleted or permanently suspended. If you make money from pay-per-click marketing while not building a list, you log into your account to find out that your account is suspended, or the product that you promoted as an affiliate has been taken down, or your servers crashed, and because your profit margins are so little, even 30 minutes of server downtime can leave you bleeding for weeks. With email lists, that simply does not happen. Even, for example, if you do some really stupid stuff and you get your AWeber account shut down, they will still give you emails and names that you collected. You just import them into a different autoresponder company and you live your life like you used to live. Sure, you will get less clicks, probably you will lose 50% of them because of certain technical stuff that I won't talk about here. But it won't be like with Google where today you get 1,000 visitors and tomorrow you get 10. In other words, if you don't have an email list, be prepared to have a cold shower, a cold unexpected shower when you least expect it. And that's not just with Google. It is the same with PPC. It's almost the same with everything where you don't have full control, where you don't own the asset. Now, sure, things change with email marketing as well, but not as fast. For example, offers that we promote changed. You can't really promote products from ClickBank or ClickShare anymore. You won't make that much money. Now, you have to work with private affiliate networks. But that didn't happen overnight. And there are many examples like this. I hope I convinced you by now that you need to build an email list. Look, I know there will be people who will see this and say, oh, this guy just says the same old shit. This does not work. And yes, in some ways this is the same old shit. This is like a frog. But when you kiss it, you see a beautiful princess. What I'm saying is, I kissed the frog and you have not. The frog is building an email list. The princess is money you will see coming in after you start doing what I will tell you to do. And the less people kiss the frog, the better it will be for us. We will have more frogs to kiss. Now, are you ready to kiss some frogs? If so, let's move on. If no, then get the hell out of here. Please stop buying information products about how to make money online because you'll never make any. Better buy a present for your kids or take your spouse out for dinner. Now, let me ask you, how do the big guys make money? Let's face it, most so-called gurus do not do what we teach. I mean, when was the last time you heard someone make a lot of money using a so-called system they discovered from a new hot product? Never. Never. The gurus create a product and then we sell that product, and we also build a list at the same time. And then we sell more products to that list, and then even more. And after that, even more products are sold to those lists that they build. And that's it. It does not really matter how you build a list. What matters is that you build a list somehow and then you sell something to them. That's what all gurus do. They create a product, they sell a product. Now, what is one thing that every successful business has in common? We all have some kind of lists. It may not be an email list for an offline business, but we still have some kind of a list of customers and prospects. If you are a beginner, if you make less than $3,000 per month, I recommend not to create products yet. I suggest that you start building your list using my methods first. When you reach $6,000 to $10,000 per month, if you want to take it to the next level, creating products is the best thing to do. So, how do you build a list? Well, building a list today is very simple, and I even dare to say that it is easy. Even more, today I do not do almost anything to build my list. I outsource all of the work. And that should be your goal as well. And here's how your general action plan looks like. Step number 1. You build a small list of 2,000 people. I'll show you how to do it. Step number 2. You start doing ad swaps. I use safe-swaps.com to do all of this. What is ad swapping? It's when you promote someone else's free gift and they do the same for you. For example, imagine that you have an email list and I have an email list, and we decide to do an ad swap. What I'll do is mail your landing page to my email list. You'll mail my landing page to your email list. Basically, we exchange our traffic. I promote for you if you promote for me. It's important to realize there's the right new way to do ad swaps and the wrong old way. I'll teach you everything I know about it. In fact, during the last 12 months, I did over 1,000 ad swaps. That's more than anyone else in this industry. In other words, if you want to learn how to do ad swaps, I am your guy. Step number 3. You do ad swaps till you reach a point where you find yourself making more money online than you have ever thought possible. Now I challenge you to start making $3,000 a month in 30 days. Step number 4 is optional, and that is to outsource everything so you do not have to work. Now let me share something that left me in shock, not for days but for weeks. These 2 case studies I am about to share will absolutely blow your mind. So case study number 1. I always wondered, if you send an email to your list every day, and if you have, let's say, 10,000 subscribers, and to keep numbers simple, let's say that every time you send an email to your list, 100 people open your email. Question: is it the same 100 people that open your emails daily? Could it be that every single day, completely different people open your emails? So I decided to get this question answered. But keep in mind that the model I use is churn and burn. I do not build a relationship with my list. That's very important. I do not build a relationship with my list. I always thought that if you get 100 opens from an email you send to your list, it's usually the same 100 people who open your emails every day. Even if you have, let's say, 10,000 subscribers. But I learned early in my life that until you have proof for something, you can't really believe it, even if you are 110% sure about it. And Donald Trump once said that when he hears people telling him about the job they have done and then they say, I have absolutely no doubt this is going to be a winner, that's when unexpected problems start to happen. It's not like it's not going to be a winner, it's just that there are doubts in every situation. You can never be sure. So one day I took a tracking link and I used that same tracking link for the next 4 days. Even more, I decided to take things to the extreme to make this test as accurate as possible and email my list 5 times per day instead of 2 times per day. Now, if this sounds terrible, it's because it is terrible. But I wanted to make this test as accurate as possible. We used car click maximizer, a rotator, which means if the same person clicks on a link 5 times or more, each time they will see a different offer. That means there's no chance for them not to click on a link because they think it is the same offer that they have already seen. To say that I was stunned would be a huge understatement. Results were completely shocking. We got 1,889 raw clicks. We got 1,778 unique clicks. Our spam complaints did not go up per email. The same amount of people unsubscribed per email sent. Now, I don't mean in total, I mean per broadcast. For example, let's say we used to send 1 email per day and we used to get 20 unsubscribes per day. Now we got 50 per day. So conclusion number 1. Just like my mother says, convenient wisdom is almost always wrong. Always test things, do not listen to other people. Conclusion number 2. If you build a list from ad swaps and solo ads, different people open your emails every day. Here's case study number 2. So after that, I asked myself, why is it that different people open my emails every day? Why isn't it the same people? My first thought was that I do not have a relationship with them. That was true, and that is one of the biggest reasons. But then another thought came into my head. Because this list is built from ad swaps and leads came from list owners who do an ad swap every day, they are subscribed to many lists and therefore they get tens of emails per day, if not hundreds. In other words, every person who subscribed to my newsletter has already subscribed to many other newsletters. What I did was I offered free 30-minute strategy session and I asked them how many emails they get per day. Now, do you know what answers were? 40 emails per day, 60 emails per day, 100 emails per day, 200 emails per day. A typical answer was 75 emails per day. I did 30 calls like that, so it's accurate. And no one said that we get less than 40 emails per day. What does that mean to you? This means that they open only the first few emails at the top of their inbox, or we quickly skim through all of the emails they got and open only a few with subject lines that catch their attention. Conclusion: if you send 1 email per day to such people, they won't even realize that you sent something to them at all. And I know it is really funny, but then I realized something really interesting. And here's how. When we were doing this case study, we had 50 messages in our follow-up sequence, and we changed the frequency of these messages from 1 per day to 3 per day. We used a Weber to do this. But then What we found out was completely shocking. I would have never expected this actually. I subscribed to my own list just to see if follow-up sequence is working properly. Then I started getting emails from myself, which was quite funny. Not only did I get follow-up messages, I also got broadcasts at the same time. I thought there was something really wrong with Aviver. I thought people would start getting broadcasts only after we go through my follow-up sequence. Aviver said that that's how your system works. When somebody subscribes to your list, we get follow-up messages and broadcasts at the same time. And that's true with Aviver. I can't say anything about other autoresponders. Now, what does that mean? A lot. More than you could possibly realize. At that moment, we were still testing the idea, do the same people open our emails? Remember that we took this test to the extreme and mailed my lists 5 times per day, which means we were sending 5 emails to my list, and we also got 3 extra messages from the follow-up sequence every day. In other words, we were sending 8 emails to our email list per day without even knowing it. And let's just say it would be a big understatement to say I was in shock. I would like to emphasize that I didn't know I was doing it. I knew I was sending 5 emails to them per day, and even then I thought I was mailing way too often. But my list was getting 8 messages from me per day. I did not get more spam complaints than usual. People were not complaining about it. Some sent an email to me that they liked my emails, but they had to unsubscribe because it was a little bit too much for them. I still had the same amount of people unsubscribing per broadcast. However, I do not recommend that you mail your list that often. I am actually against it. Just because you can do it, it doesn't mean you should do it. Remember why I did this test. I did this just to answer this question. Do the same people open emails that I send to my list? And of course the answer is hell no. So here's how your specific step-by-step action plan looks like. Step number 1, you build a small list of 2,000 people. How? You can get free traffic. I normally teach this just in my coaching program, but I can tell you that a few good tactics are video marketing, forum marketing, and guest blogging. It takes quite a bit of time to explain free traffic generating techniques, so I will not do it here. You can schedule a free session below, and we'll talk about this in depth. You can also buy traffic. In the beginning, I recommend that you stick just to solo ads. What is a solo ad? Let's say I have an email list and you come to me. You pay me $100 to promote your landing page. That's all a solo ad is. It's buying traffic from people who own email lists. Step number 2, you join safe-swaps.com and start doing ad swaps. You email your list a lot. That's step number 3. Twice per day. Now, what do you email twice to your list per day? Your partners who you will do ad swaps with will give you their landing pages. That's all you promote to your list. In other words, you exchange all of your traffic. Your partners send traffic to you and you send traffic to them. Now, how do you make money if you exchange all of your traffic? When people see your landing page and if they submit their email address, take them to a thank you page. On that thank you page, promote affiliate offers. That's where I make almost all of my money from the thank you page. Now to summarize, step number 1, build a list of 2,000 people. Step number 2, start doing ad swaps. Step number 3, mail your list twice per day. And please do not devalue this just because this is so simple. Here's something for you to think about. Fools make it complicated. Geniuses take complicated things and make them simple. Don't make it complicated. Just take a formula a genius made and use it. Now, I'm not saying I'm a genius, I'm just saying I have a formula, and the formula does not care who uses it, a fool or a genius, it still works. So now you have a system, you have the basic idea of a system. I want you to go ahead and schedule a strategy session with me right now. I will give you an even more detailed action plan that helped me start making $3,000 a month in 29 days from scratch. Now, what will we talk about exactly? Number one, I'll identify where you are right now and why you are not having success you want. Number two, I will then identify where you want to be. Number three, I will make an action plan for you that will help you start making $3,000 a month in as soon as 29 days. Number four, I will answer all of your questions you'll have about the action plan. Number five, if you ask me to become your mentor, and if I choose to work with you, I will present you with an offer to work with me. And our strategy session will be highly personalized, and it will be about 1 or 2 hours long. So click on the link below now and schedule a strategy session with me right now. Do it now before it's too late and I get too many strategy session requests and I am forced to close down this offer. I was forced to close this down recently for about 2 weeks because of so many strategy session requests. Even more, if at the end of the call you think I wasted your time, I will give you $100 out of my own pocket. That's how much I believe in this. So you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And if you implement the action plan, you could start making $3,000 a month in as little as 29 days, right? Just like I did. So schedule the strategy session right now. Click on the link below right now and I will talk to you on Skype. Just do it right now before it's too late and I take this offer down.